So we are live now. Hello, my body language buddies. Jesus and be on another live with you. I'd like to know how are you doing? How is this January 6th for you? And we're gonna talk today about a topic that I addressed from a couple days back about why is that it happens that apparently Meghan and Harry is they are moving away from Montecito because they are not over the moon, and I'm gonna quote this unofficial sources apparently, because I think we don't have any official statement of the Harkles themselves to talk about why are they staying or leaving or what is happening with their home. And I thought that was an interesting topic just for the fact that many of us thought at that moment when they moved to Montecito, to that impressive home, that big house. I repeat again and again, the 16 bathrooms. I don't know. I think 16 bathrooms is a bit overkill, but who am I to judge? I'm not a royal or ex-royal either. I'm just a commoner, but whatever. And I was thinking about this could be a good idea for many reasons, that they move to the heart of where they want to exploit their careers, their new careers away from the royal family. And it makes sense that you need to be in the middle and the center of the action, okay? In this case, in Los Angeles. I think Montecito is not Los Angeles, but you know that is near all this. That they have Ellen and they have Oprah as neighbors, so that must mean something so far. But there's so many things been said about that home that is absolutely public. That in California there is this taxes for what you own for your home. In this case of Meghan and Harry, they are going to pay 70,000 every 6 months. Okay, that will be 140,000 a year only in taxes, in property taxes. That's quite a lot. And since we already know from the public records that Archwell Foundation has maybe hasn't taken off yet, then the math doesn't add up. That's the big problem I think that they could have. If we are just judging for public records, then the numbers do not add up. And well, as for me, I thought that maybe they would like the house at first, but maybe it was not the best idea. I don't know what you think, my buddies. I would like to love if you I would love if you comment about that. If you tell me what do you think about a family in that moment of three moving to a home this big, this well, they call it a home. Tell me that it's a bit glitchy. Let me see if my okay. Let me let me see if my connection improves. Okay, I'm gonna make some magic here. Let me see if my connection improves. Just let me know. Okay, it keeps cutting out. Let's wait a couple seconds. Okay. Let's wait a couple seconds to just be sure that it's not buffering. Let me solve this now first. Okay, let's pause this. Let's pause the video. Let's do this. Let's pause the video for a second. Let me see if it's the video that is. Let us pick this one frame of this, and let me know if you are experiencing. Okay. Let's wait a couple of seconds. Sorry for interference. I don't know what's happening with my connection, but my connection should be all right now. Okay. Yes, I'm reading you, Blaze. I'm looking at. I'm reading all your comments. I don't have problem reading your comments, but I don't know if you're able to watch me. I think the problem was the video that I was playing. Okay, are you getting my video right? Is my question. But please confirm if you can listen to me, if it's still freezing. Can anyone confirm? And thanks for blocking the trolls. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going. Oh my god. Today the trolls are very intense. Let me ban some of them now. Please right. Yes, this I'm sorry, but my trusty, let me see. Okay. Well, Veronica is around here. Veronica, if you see any trolls, please block them. Absolutely blast them off, because I think there are a lot of trolls today. I think they will recharge these holidays. Okay. I feel like the neighbors might not be as friendly these days. Please, if you still see some freezing in the signal, just let me know. I had this cute presentation of their current home, but sadly, I think I cannot play it properly because of the connection. I don't know what's going on with my connection. Well, it seems that they're planning on moving away from their home. They're planning on selling that. That's, as Neil Sean says, allegedly. There's nothing confirmed yet. But yeah, we should rent this house for the Battle Language Bodies meetup. Let me feature this. This is really important. We should do that. We should. I think the sugars, the Meghan and Harry fans are like, I don't know, going for a GoFundMe to pay for the taxes or pay for the house or buying it. I don't know. But in any way or another, I think it was not a wise move to maybe move to such big a house, being just 3 at that moment. They are 4 now, but I think it's still a big, really big house for them. And I have nothing against living in a big home. I think every one of us should look forward to live in a house as big as any of us want or can afford, which is the more appropriate word. I think we should always be looking forward to that. If you want to live in a big home or at the beach or in the mountains or wherever you want to live, and in any way you want to live, I think you have the right, as long as you earn it and as long as you can afford it. This is right. Let me check the video again. Okay, video good. Okay, I think that was the problem. I think it was the video that I was playing that I was too big. I don't know. Maybe it was that. Maybe I was wrong. But it is going great now. I think with every single one of us, and I mean every single one of us, should be able to move to live in the home of their dreams, right? No matter how big or small. Maybe you dream of a small apartment in Paris, I don't know, or a big house in Montecito. Maybe that's your thing. But it's important to always have perspective about what you're doing. In this case, we're talking about Megan. We want to talk about where will be she moving next with Harry, of course, because Harry goes wherever Megan goes, of course, we guess, at least so far. But it's important to learn a lesson from this. It's always to reflect upon this. What does this mean? Because one thing is the royal gossip. It is interesting to know what is the gossip, what is going on with the royals and not royals at the same time. But I think it's very important to get this into perspective and try to get something for us. So I don't think it's a bad thing that they moved to a big house, because I would like to live in a big house. I don't know if I would fancy such a big house, because I like to enjoy that, and the whole house, and maybe I don't have the time, because especially now I'm trying to, for example, my job is trying to get content for you, right? And my job allows me to live in a certain way, and at the same time it's like a virtuous cycle, or I don't know how to put it like that. But my point is that sometimes it's way more important, your lifestyle. How do you bring value? How do you earn money? How you can afford where you live? But sometimes you don't need that big a house, because you will be busy, right? You are a busy person, and maybe you don't have all the time to enjoy all the things that your home has to offer. For example, the Montecito house has a tennis court. I didn't know that Megan played tennis. I know that Catherine played tennis. Maybe she was expecting the Cambridges to come over so she could play tennis with Catherine. Who knows? But this is the most important thing. I think it's important that you have a balance between where you live and how can you afford that. This is very important because there's so much signaling at all times as people that always have the bigger things, the flashiest things, the most notorious life, the most the most over the top way of showing off, and I don't think that's a healthy way to live. And I understand that sometimes the problem is society that pressures you into trying to live that dream, right? Like push that image of success. And in some industries, maybe certain musical industries, for example, it's important to like give the notions, give the image that you're successful, and that leads you to invest or spend in so many things that maybe you don't use or are just wasting your money. And that is sad. That is, you have to be absolutely sure of what do you want to get from life, all right? How do you want to live your life? This is absolutely important, because if you don't define very well how do you want to live your life, I'm absolutely sure that you will end up trying to live like another person or another group of person, or like society tells you to live. And that is really, really sad. I'm really worried about that anxiety that sparks from trying to comply with those requirements from society. You have to be successful and you have to show that you are successful, and it is not always the case. In fact, there's a very good book called, many of you could have read it by now, that is The Millionaire Next Door. I don't remember the author right now, but the name is just like that. The Millionaire Next Door is about these people that just work with their head down. They really don't make much noise. They live like everyone else in a middle class neighborhood. They are millionaires. They are set for life. They keep on working, but nobody really knows. Nobody is really aware of them. And I think that that's a great way to live. Making money, doing something that you love, and sometimes not only that, something that you love, but something that excites you and something that stimulates you. This is very important. And I remember that Malcolm Gladwell had a theory about what makes your work so, what makes your work really relevant, and payment is just one of them. But what makes your work relevant is something that fulfills you, even in an artistic way. To make things that are beautiful, make things, maybe you're a surgeon, a doctor that is a surgeon, and maybe surgery for you is beautiful. You can make a beautiful surgery, and that is beautiful for you, and that is great. You are creating something beautiful, and you are helping people at the same time. This is very important. This is really every single one of these topics are interconnected, because it's not just only saying that Megan is moving out because she doesn't have, she's going broke. I really don't care. I really don't care if they are going broke, if they can afford their home. I just see that there's very, very distressing signals that they have to move away from their home, and saying that they're not over the moon, or they are not excited for this home. It's a bit, it's a bit odd. It's really odd because it's an amazing home. I watched the whole video many times and say, oh my God, this is really big. I really was not aware until today. Yeah, maybe downsize to 10 bathrooms. That could help a lot. 10 bathrooms, that's reasonable for 4 people, right? And there's an anecdote from this book, The Millionaire Next Door, that says that there's this man that has, I don't know, 1 million, 2 million in the bank, and he says that he had $500,000 in the bank, liquid. And his lifestyle, his family lifestyle, was still $4,000 a month. And when he broke that barrier, that $500,000, he upgraded. Only then he upgraded his lifestyle, his family lifestyle, from $4,000 a month to $5,000 a month. So I think that's a good idea. How do you should plan for the future, because you never know, trends come and go, and you should always be moving, and upgrading your lifestyle is something that should not be done like an easy decision. It's a very, very complicated decision. Music videos. Oh, they probably rented it for music videos. I'm finding out now. Okay. Yeah, this is very important. This is interesting. This question from Anita. What work ethic would they give to their children? I think this is very important. I think this is the saying that people only thrive under certain circumstances. on their struggles or challenges, and that's true. The struggles and challenges are important to bring out your true character, to model your character to be a better person. That is a given. But what happens when a child grows in a space that they have virtually everything that they need? You have to be taught discipline. You have to be taught work ethic, responsibility. That you can learn the effects of all that. You can learn about the effects of good and bad decisions, even if you are living in a house like Montecito. I think there's no difference about that. I don't think a child or a young adult necessarily has to struggle or live bad circumstances to learn them, as long as their emotional needs are fulfilled. This is very important. People usually do not care about or do not understand how this works, but it's so important. It's absolutely so important how children are educated in their emotional stability, emotional vocabulary, how they deal, because emotions are not just cry, don't cry, don't cry like that, or act like this, or you should be thankful, you should be joyful. It's not like that. It's how you deal with the setbacks and how you deal with the victories. Very important, because sometimes a victory can derail you because you think you got it made. Hey, you got an easy victory. You get an easy victory, and you tell to yourself, hey, this is easy. I can repeat it many times over. But again, trends come and go over and over again. That's something that is a given. Change is the only thing that is not going to change anytime soon. I'm sorry, Laura, but I have bad news, because of the three options that I have for Meghan and Harry doing next. New York is one of them, and it's a really, really high probability that they end up in New York, as long as they don't stay in Montecito. This is the thing. There's three options. And both the three options are really strange, to say the least. They are selling their home, or they apparently, allegedly selling their home at Montecito, and we can guess that they want to move to another place. Where apparently they were, I think I read that in Express or at the Mail Online. I don't know. I remember the newspaper now, but they wanted to stay in the area, but they wanted to sell their home. And you tell me if that makes sense. There's another option. They want to stay at Montecito, but they want to sell their current home because reasons. I don't know, but that doesn't really sound very how can we say, that doesn't make sense really, to sell the home and stay in the same area. I don't know if Montecito there are smaller houses. This is very interesting too. I don't know what is the plan, but it doesn't make much sense. If they want to downsize, if they want to downgrade their home, they are absolutely in the right. And I think nobody should be making fun of that, and nobody should be allowed to have any say with that. This is very important. Well, Miriam Resend, I think Harry's going to UK for a fresh start. I'm going to talk about Harry going to the UK. And Meghan will go to New York. That's a little harder, because I don't think they're going to split geographically, but there's always a possibility for everything. Okay, this is important. Thank you, Andrea. Heraclitus has been quoted saying, "Change is the only constant in life." That is absolutely true. That we cannot predict next year. There's so many events, including what are called black swan events, like the pandemics that you just cannot predict. In fact, in some way, my YouTube channel is a product of that black swan event of the pandemic. That's something that my YouTube channel really started thanks to the greatest change, the shift in how we looked at work in 2020. So it was a way of adapting myself to what was coming. But that is a really big issue when we're talking about if we are going to downgrade. If you're a public, that is a great issue when you're a public persona, when you're a celebrity, and everybody knows the house where you live. Everybody knows your I don't know, your cars, how much you travel, etc. Because the moment you are going through a rough patch, and for any reason you have a downgrade or downsize or whatever, that happens in life. That's absolutely normal in every life. No life is always going up in exactly the same way. There's always an oscillation. Ideally, that oscillation is going to be in an upward line, in an upward slope, okay? Always improving. Maybe that is the idea. We want to be growing all the time, but in fact, if you zoom in at that line to weeks or months or even years, you notice that line is in fact like a curve that goes down sometimes and goes up sometimes, and sometimes you are at the top of the wave and sometimes you're at the bottom. But the problem is that you have to realize that no matter what is the moment of your life, no crest, no top lasts forever, and no bottom or the lower part lasts forever either. This is very important to know. As long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, if you're doing your magic, then you should have no problem. There is no reason in this era of humanity that you should not be able to, in this case, make money from any part of the world. And there's another thing. There's another disadvantage that Meghan and Harry have. But because what they want to do, the big things that they want to do, most of them, you need to really meet people in person. You need to network people. You need to meet the actual people behind the scenes to what you want to do, the big contracts that you want to pursue, that what you want to achieve. And even so, it will be extremely easy to just produce. If they wanted to produce content, if they really wanted to produce valuable content, it doesn't take virtually anything to start. Harry has connections, right? We all agree on that. And Meghan has connections too. I always joke about Meghan not having friends. That's a joke. That's satire. But let's say that Meghan still has connections. Meghan could still start a podcast in her own home. Harry could still start a podcast at home. That is the current that's the current model that everyone is pursuing. Anyone can do that, and they have two big advantages to that. They have the notoriety and the connections. Why don't they just start? I don't know. Okay, I always listen to Neil Sean. I like Neil Sean a lot. I hope that one day I go to London. I get to meet Neil Sean, and we'll sit down to drink a nice cup of tea. And Neil Sean just reported they're running out of cash and maybe they're going broke. Well, Neil Sean always has good scoops, allegedly, as he always says, with his nice suit and tie. But that is something that I really don't wish for anyone. And I really want to Harry and Meghan to be successful. I really wish everyone, anyone, playing clean and safe and doing the right thing. Whenever you do the right thing, I wish you success. If you don't play by the rules, I don't think you deserve that. That is no way deserved in any way. But anyway, it's redeemable. New York is an option because New York is another hub that could work for specifically for Meghan, because they're looking to make business. What they want now is to bring awareness for certain business, sort of what Harry is doing as Chief Impact Officer. You are a famous person. You can bring awareness to anything. I don't know what are they waiting for? What so much hesitation, so much time? Yes, it's important to remember. I understand that Lilibet is really young, Archie is really young. Maybe Meghan still wants to spend a couple more months, maybe 6 more months with them. But at the same time, Meghan is aware that she's half of the show. The show in the good sense of the word, of the word, is like she's half of the business, and she cannot spend so much time idling or not without activities. She has to do something. She has to act. Thank you, Easy18, for your super sticker. And action is always that makes that curve going in that frequency and that oscillation. We want that oscillation no matter if you are in the lower part, no matter if you are in the upper part. You want that curve to oscillate upwards all the time. They could be going to New York. Very nice decision for Meghan. Maybe they could buy an apartment there for less than $10 million. It could be a good deal there, especially if they're coming from a 14 million mansion. The problem is selling the Montecito house that spent so long in the market before they bought it, and we can expect that it's going to be on the market a long time too. Even if now it has the reputation as home of the ex-royals, maybe that will make it sell faster. I don't know if anyone can. If someone would like to live where Harry lived, right, with all that red hair in the in the furniture, okay, that will be important to consider. But the other options is they really want to stay at Montecito, but of course in a smaller home. This is only what can I get from that. I haven't seen a real impact from them. And yes, you know that they have been my main source of study. I've been studying them, following them, analyzing them. I really always want everyone that plays by the rules to succeed. But if you don't play by the rules, this is what you get. Things are not gonna go well because you can fool. How is that quote? You can fool some people once, so you can fool people. Some people all the time. I don't remember like that exactly. If you can remind me, but you cannot fool everyone all the time. That is the corollary of the quote. You cannot fool everyone all the time. You gotta have substance. What is your business? What are you going for? What is the change you want to make in the world? Thanks, just a traveler, for your super sticker. And this is very important. The other option, the third option, you have been seeing that in the news, in the UK news over and over again, that is Prince Charles is trying to give an olive branch to Harry, is speaking well about Harry, saying that Harry could rejoin the royal family. I don't know if this allegedly. I really want to check the sources, but it has been said so many times in so many these sources, newspapers, that it's gotta have one piece, one little part of truth, and it's a possibility. Prince Charles could be seeing his son struggling. Maybe things are not going so well. Maybe Harry and Charles have been talking. Who knows? And Charles wants to test the waters in a possible coming back from Harry to the UK. I said, okay, I want to adopt Charles is doing anything of the sort. I certainly hope Charles is, as you say, Miss Wee Lassie, not doing that, because I think Harry needs to really live through his decision. You made a decision, you had 1 full year to test the waters, and you confirmed that you wanted to live, and you gave all the reasons to tell the world that you really wanted to live not only your royal duties, but leave your family behind. Charles doing, giving that opportunity could be the sensible way of acting, but it will not give Harry the lesson Harry needs. And this is really important. This is absolutely important. People have to live through their decisions. They have to live through the effects of their actions. They have to feel the pain of whatever decisions they make. This is really absolutely critical and important. There's no way around this. And I understand that Charles might be worried about Harry, and that Charles might want Harry to come back. But it's even more important for our sons, and I mean everyone, our sons and daughters, that once they make a decision, and no matter what is the age of your son or daughter, everyone makes their decisions according to their ages. I talk about that in another video. We have different stages of life, and we should make decisions. We should face problems according to our age. But Harry, in this case, is an adult, and he has to face the absolute full effect of whatever decisions he has. So I don't think the royal family should save him of any of the sort. I think living through his decision will be very good for Harry, will be really very good for Harry, because that is the things that let you test your true character. And maybe you don't like Harry a lot. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt like 2 months ago. No longer I give him the benefit of the doubt. But as a person with absolutely no attachment or judgment, I know that this is a lesson that can help him grow. Okay? I have no sympathy for Harry, but this is a lesson that can help him grow. And I want to highlight that. This is really, really important. This is really relevant for anyone. that is sometimes that is a bit hard to grasp, especially when you want to give the image of success, or that you want to just part with your family and you want to find financial success on your own. And well, you whine that you were cut off financially by your family. Let's leave that in 2021 at this moment. But you have to face that. You have to really uh, take a good look at that and try to get through that ordeal. Okay, that is important. Again, I have no sympathy at the moment for Harry and Meghan. I'm really neutral about them. I know that I troll and make jokes about them a lot, and but it's usually to highlight my lessons and tips, but not in a personal way, because I really don't gain anything from attacking them. And more than once, you know that I've given free advice for Harry and Meghan to what they should do and what could work. And of course, there's absolutely no feedback from that, and that is really sad, because there's so much potential. And there was so much potential when we saw the Fab Four, when we saw Catherine, when we saw William, Meghan, and Harry together. Everyone really thought that that could work, but maybe there were people that had their doubts. But the first time I saw that video, I really thought that that could work. I think that I mentioned that in my video analysis. I haven't done a video analysis of the Fab Four and the Royal Foundation video per se, but I've mentioned that video a couple times and in other analysis, and always said that I really wanted that to work, because I think all of them, and that was a magical thing, and that is so sad that it didn't work out, is that they had four very different personalities that could complement each other, and there was no like one was going to take away from the other. Of course, we know that the presence of Meghan being there, it was a bit complicated in terms that her narcissistic traits just dissolve that union, and that's when you could have people that are competent, that are charismatic, that could do interesting things, but if they cannot work as a team, if they are not into teamwork, then you will have much more trouble. And if you have people that maybe don't have their charisma, because Meghan has always undeniably had charisma at many points of her life. I've seen many interviews of her that when she was being interviewed about suits, that she didn't have any mask, she didn't have any strange traits, no Markle Crow, no anything. She was really natural and happy and uplifting, and so many people that said that they met Meghan Markle and they said, hey, this woman is amazing, she's really charismatic, she's really great. And that's important. We should never leave that to one side. We should criticize what should be criticized, but we should also take into account what we could save from a person. I'm not saying that we're going to redeem Meghan for these traits, but it's interesting to see that she had these skills that the royal family could use, and she could have done a lot with the royal family's megaphone. Okay, that's being part of the royal family, having that charisma, really wanted to make a change in the world. That will have been really awesome. It was this. I think the problem with Meghan was this way that she wanted to. There's another plane of the house. That she really wanted to be known as a feminist, and somehow Uh, this is important. Thanks, Mar. This comment is relevant, and somehow this feminism that Megan wanted to project was not aligned with the what she saw in the royal family, and this is important. You have to know your audience. You want to know, you really need to know who are you addressing your message to. And I think Megan wanted her cake and eat it too. And you cannot have the two things at the same time. You can help women over the world through the royal foundation, through the royal family. It will have been absolutely doable, absolutely possible. Megan is a manic planner but never finishes anything. That is a characteristic of narcissists. Why? Why narcissists plan and initiate things but never finish anything? Because they say that they're going to do things and people applaud them, they clap, people say, hey, it's great that you're planning to do something, it's great that you want to help, it's great that you want to save the world. But once the narcissist notices or sees or confirms so much work that they have to put in that world change, they say, hey, I'm not gonna do this is too much work, I'm certainly, this is way too much work into this. Because, and I've mentioned that, I also said that in a live a couple days ago, you have to put in the work every day, and that is boring. And the narcissist doesn't have any this gasoline, what is called supply is the narcissist's gasoline, what they get when people praise them. They say, hey, you're so great, you're so charismatic, you're so proactive. That is something that is the gasoline of the narcissist. They don't get that from putting in the reps daily, okay? Because people say that once at the start of the journey, and maybe people will say it at the end of the journey, but there's a point A and point B, and narcissists always bail out in the middle because they get bored and they just want to search for another, how to say that, another project to bring attention to people, to draw attention to people, so people can say, hey, it's great that you're doing this, such as Megan's initiative from the 40 by 40, that we didn't get anything from that. No interviews, no recordings, no nothing. That's really odd, and nobody makes any questions about that. That is really okay. This is important. Charissa, meet Charissa. Charissa is my really trusty moderator here. A really valuable body. Language body, and furthermore, if she was truly a feminist, then she wouldn't be treating royal staff awful and be abusive to anyone, let alone women. This is really important, and I'm sure that we only know the tip of the iceberg regarding this, and that must be the reason, one of the reasons why maybe the neighbors of Montecito are thinking twice about just hanging out with Megan. There's so many things being said. I think it's really sad. It's really sad for anyone. But when you think that people saw what they planned, that people get what their actions just get them. Okay, you act in one way, you have to be prepared for the effects of those actions. There's no escaping that. And both Meghan and Harry need a big reality check on that, on their own styles. This is very important. As for this, I wanted to really highlight that point. It's absolutely normal that your life is going to have lows and highs. I am not keen, or I don't condone, I don't support anyone making fun of another person that is going to through a rough patch, or maybe they lost their home, or maybe they lost their career. I've told you many times that I am an artist at heart. I really appreciate, for example, the work of musicians and the acting profession. And both musicians and actors and actresses is a very volatile medium, and it takes a lot of nerve to surf those ups and downs of their careers. It's really, really stressful. So I have this very intimate connection with artists and their struggles. And if they're not artists, we know that things like the pandemic can affect everyone and their ability of earning money. And we know that money in itself doesn't bring you happiness, but you cannot enjoy the happiness of the things that you cannot buy with money if you are scrambling to pay your debts. I hope that makes sense. I think I spoke too much in a sentence. I make the sentence too big. But you cannot be happy if you are scrambling to pay your debts. If you have to be keeping up with a lifestyle just to show off, that is not happiness. Nobody can be happy like that. If you can maintain your lifestyle, if you have worked hard and have earned the right to have a 16 bathroom home, well, go for it. That is great, because that brings a lot of employment. There's so many people that you need to get that house up and running, from gardeners to maids to cooks to everything. That's really important to be aware of that. It's really, really your right when you earn that. But be aware that earning that also comes with being sometimes a bit too public. And you don't want to be too public about what you earn or what is your financial status. That's why I have so many doubts about so many gurus of finance gurus, or making money gurus, or cryptocurrency gurus that boast all these things that they have, but there's no real substance behind that, because they're boasting about material things. I don't know if that makes real sense sometimes. But you really need to have a really big track record to know what you're talking about in those fields. And in some sense, I could understand that a financial guru has to boast their success in form of material things, because if maybe you are how do you say that? A trainer. You are Hey, here is Ayeda. Hello, Ayeda. How are you? Great to see you here. So that it was this super chat I didn't command. Sorry, it was the Tarot Knows. Thanks, Lily, for your super chat. Thanks for your fabulous content. Harry and Meghan return as working royals. Be the end of the monarchy. Okay, we don't know. We don't know it yet. It will be really odd, but it could happen anytime. It could happen. It really could happen. But if you're a trainer, a personal trainer, you're a personal trainer, and you're a personal trainer, you're a personal trainer at a gym, it makes sense that you have a body that represents what you sell, right? If it's like if you train people, it's like the other day that I always wanted to have a verified Instagram account. I always joke, I joke all the time that I always try to verify my Instagram account, but apparently it's so difficult. I have to be mentioned in the mirror and the sun many times to get a man to get verified. And I publicly say on Twitter that I want to be verified on Instagram, and I get these emails of agencies that supposedly they can get me verified on Instagram. And guess what happens when I visit their profile and on Instagram? They are not verified. And I say, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. You're promising to get me verified, but your account on Instagram is not verified. How does that work? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's something that it happens. But if you're not a financial guru or cryptocurrency guru of all these money-making gurus, that most of them are just fluff and smoke and mirrors, I don't think it's a good idea to be showing off where do you live, where's your home, etc. I understand that it's very difficult for Harry and Meghan to have their so-called privacy that they so crave so much. But in these instances, the moment that they say, hey, I want to move, I want to sell my home, people are going to make questions. And people are going to be questioning if you're going through a rough patch, or Neil Sean is going to say that you're broke. And that is sad. That is really worrying, because it's all this made up reputation of who has the bigger house. You know that it's not about who has the bigger house. You know that the statement is very different. I cannot say it here, but you know, who has the bigger home is in this case the way that you measure success. And it's sad, because it should be who has the most impact on people, a positive impact on people, who can benefit the most people at the same time with the lowest effort possible, because you have to be efficient, because you want to live your life too and enjoy the life, the house that you have, no matter the size of the house. This always makes sense. Joe Ellen Ross, thank you for your super sticker. These are concepts that go beyond the regular gossip of the royals. I really want to share all this with you because I think we're always struggling to be on top of, how do you say that, on this awareness of people. And this is a very delicate balance. I wrote, if you are not subscribed to my mailing list yet, I wrote a post today about selling yourself. Selling yourself is a paradox, a balancing paradox that is very delicate, very difficult to achieve. And this is really important to understand, that you have to sell yourself. People needs to know what you do. It's absolutely important. You have to sacrifice certain privacy for that, and people want to see your face to trust you. You can make it with an anonymous account. I understand that H.G. Tudor is really successful in his field with a narcissist. I understand that he offers coaching and he sells books and he's doing really well. But that he also talks a lot about Harry and Meghan. Thanks, Lily. Yeah, I should get that blue tick soon. But it's much more easier when you use your face and your voice to sell your services, okay, and present your services. It's really, really important. Just don't waste your time feeling sorry for those really rich people who are trying to live beyond their means. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't have really sympathy for them, but I want to make sure that my audience, my beautiful body language bodies, understand that this is absolutely normal. If you're going through a patch like that, it's temporary. please understand the ups are temporary, the downs are temporary. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other. This is absolutely important that you understand this concept, because I always want you to get one little tip from every single one of my videos. I'm really thankful that so many people is watching me now talking about the Harkles and their plans or not plans of moving. Maybe they move to the UK. Can you imagine if they move again to London? That will be really interesting. But in the end, what I want you to understand is the real impact that a decision can have in your life, that you think that you have to be growing all the time, or the line should be a straight line, and that is false. That never works that way. There's always going to be moments that you go down, and you should always remember, please pay attention to this, pay real attention to this. You have to be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's a mistake. You have to evaluate your decisions. You have to live through your decisions, but try to not be so hard on yourself. Try to be kind on yourself, and especially, be kind to the person that you were 1 month ago, 1 year ago, 10 years ago, because that person really did not know what you know now. Okay, so you might be judging them in retrospective, which is absolutely not fair. Try to talk to them, try to talk to that person 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or when that person made decisions that maybe led you to this rough patch that you're living through now, and try to be kind to them, and remember that you are going to get through. And I'm going again to touch this because it's very important. I promised a video about this, about journaling, how important it is to journal every day. Just try to make it private, of course, and nobody should read your journal, but journal every day, pen and paper. Could be as simple as this, pen and paper, so you can backtrack at any time and see and remember, hey, I remember this era a couple years back that I was going through this rough patch, and have an insight of your feelings and your thoughts, and realize that even if you are going through a rough patch here, maybe you have to sell your house, maybe you have to downsize your lifestyle, you realize that you have learned a lot and you can do so much more, because the person that you are now are by all means is an improvement over the person that you were 6 months ago, or 1 year ago, or 2 years ago. This is very important to know, and it's much easier to have that insight if you journal, if you can read your thoughts and feelings from 2 years or 1 year ago. This is absolutely important. So the best time to start a journal is today, tonight. It's like that. Oh my God, Veronica made a very good comment here. Write your journal in cursive. You will be safe. Yeah, nobody will understand your handwriting. But the problem is, if I read it 5 years later and I don't understand my own handwriting, how does it work? But it's a good advice. Or write it so small that you have to use a magnifying glass to read it. But no, really, we should always be journaling all the time, every day, at least 5 lines. Just feel, how was your day? How did you feel today? Of course, the more impactful your day, Harry must know about this because he's Chief Impact Officer. The more impactful your day, the more you're going to write, the more emotions, and the stronger the emotions that you had to live through your day, the more you will have to write. That makes sense. But that is really, really important for every single one of us. I do not agree. Well, I agree to a certain point with the sentence, living under your means. It's important to live under your means. That makes sense, because if you don't live under your means, you're going to spend your savings. You're gonna run out of money sooner or later. But I think you should be the real sentence. I just came up with that sentence now. I'm going to write it down as the meme says. It's not live within your means, it's thrive within your means. You have to exist below those means you have, okay? You have to be thriving, you have to be growing, you have to be doing things, you got to be planning, you have to be acting. You cannot be doing the same thing over every day. Well, you need to have a habit of doing the things to a greater goal, but it's like you cannot stay in the same state of your life, in the same step or level of your life. You should always be improving. That is really important. Thriving below your means. And if you keep that below your means, and you can be sustainable about it, you can be growing, you are living below your means, but those means are growing every time you grow. So your lifestyle, you will never surpass your lifestyle. You will never be worried about, hey, I'm spending way too much that I cannot afford, or I cannot afford this. That's really important to realize. But you should always be striving to grow. Some people like to grow financially. That's great. That is amazing. You can do so many things when you have a lot of money. Some people want to grow spiritually. That is great too. That is really, really important. It's something that you cannot oversee. And some people want to grow and be healthier physically. Maybe you want to to eat cleaner. You want to sleep 8 hours a day. You want to work out 3 or 4 times a week. Or you want to walk 1 hour a day, no matter what. And in some way, you are improving your health and you are leveling up physically. But everything should be an honest one, because our life is a system. You cannot leave your family behind. You cannot leave your friends behind. You cannot leave all the things that matter to you behind, because our life is a system. It's really absolutely important. I like this. Barbara. Joseph Campbell stated, find your bliss. Well, you know my catchphrase, much love and bliss. And it's this to telling oneself, I am an improvement from last year. And maybe not only last year, your whole life can change from one month to another. And it all takes a way of changing your mindset sometimes. Trying to really evaluate what is not working and trying to go for what you think could work. There is absolutely no guarantee at this game. Nobody has absolutely no guarantee at the game of life. I'm sorry to break this news to you. I'm sure that they're not news to you at all. But I really, how do I say that? I think we should always be pointing for something better for ourselves, because the moment that we realize that we can change things and our mindset, and maybe it doesn't happen all the time, of course, but maybe you can change your life from one month to another. You will also be changing other people's lives at the same time, and that is the greatest gift. Everything that I tell you always leads to the same destination. I'm sorry if I repeat myself too much. I'm sorry if I talk about journaling all the time, helping people all the time, but it's everything connected, and we don't get to act upon it enough. And acting upon it every day is the key. There's no other key. There's no cheat code. There's no master key to it. But if you put one foot in front of the other every day and you know where you are going, then I guarantee you you will arrive at that sooner or later. Every person of humanity that knows where they're going, okay, and are absolutely sure that they want to go there because it's something that they want, that they genuinely want, they arrive at their destination. You can say maybe you like statistics, and you say, well, it's not 100%, it's 99.5%, but then believe that you can be part of that 99.5%. It's that easy, okay? Of course, believing is half the work, and you also have to put in the work. We always can aspire, think, dream of going the extra mile to get something for ourselves. It could be more money. There's absolutely nothing wrong of having more money. Money lets you live a more comfortable life, and if you have helped people to get that money, that is the right way to get money, then you will want to help more people, and in turn you will get more money. This will be a virtuous cycle, very, very good cycle, because you will be getting more money, helping more people. That is the best way to live, especially if you like what you do. I thought to myself, I had said that I was going to make this lives last 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, but I always revolve about these topics about how can we grow as people. And I try to leave those first 40 minutes to the topic itself, to the gossip, what is Meghan and Harry going to do. But I think that in each and every one of these actions, whether we are talking about Catherine and William and their pictures, whether we're talking about their children or maybe their initiatives, or maybe even Charles and Camilla and some point, or maybe talking about Meghan and Harry, it's important to grab something for us. We have to be a bit egoistical in that sense. What can we do? How can I apply that this lesson, and how can you apply that lesson? I just want to know. No, that's not the word. I just want to say that most of the time I have no idea, and it's impossible for me to have any idea what are you going through, you that are watching me at the other side of the camera. And maybe you have never reached out to me, maybe not even in a comment, or not even in an email or anything. Maybe you wrote me an email, but I haven't answered. I'm really sorry. I really tried to answer all my communications, but all my communications from all my channels, all my messages, all my emails, it is me who answers them. I have no assistance for that because I really want to be personal. If you get an answer from me, that is me. You that are watching me, that other side of the camera, I want you to understand that all this whole community are rooting. I believe in you. We believe in you. We know that you can make this. And this could sound cheesy for some of you, but yes, we believe in you, and so many people that are close to you also believe in you, and they also know and you can get through anything that you're going through at this moment. Again, I cannot possibly know, and maybe it's not possible for me to know, or maybe it's not right for me to know, but I want you to be aware of this. Okay, we believe in you, so you will be able to overcome this rough path that you're going through. Maybe we watch what these people, this rich, crazy, narcissistic people are going through, and maybe we are going to, how do you say that? Maybe we're going to something similar. I have been through something similar. Yes, the BBC issued a podcast today about Harry and Meghan. Thanks, Elsie. Yeah, so that I will be reviewing that this weekend. But it's important to understand that it also applies to us. I've been through really bad patches in my life. I'm writing now a very good patch because I have the greatest audience that I have ever dreamed in my life, and it's you, and I want to give you that back. And I cannot stand, I really cannot afford myself to just talk about British royals gossip. I cannot do that. That is going against my principles. That is going against my values. I cannot do that. I have to go the extra mile just to tell you, just to get you one tip that could get you on the right track. I don't know which track it is. Maybe you don't know which track it is, but you just want to find it. And if I can help you in any way, I really don't care if people tell me that but you banter, you rant so much, you talk about so many topics and you don't stay on topic. Well, I'm beginning to think that I really cannot get on topic, remain on topic all the time. Maybe I remain on topic the first 40 minutes, but then I really want to share with you this because I've lived through that. And I surely don't want to live through that again. And I wish that I had someone to tell me to just make a summary of what are the steps that I needed to do. And these are very easy steps. Not the simple steps, but they're not easy because you have to act upon them. That is really important. So if it's a question to spend half an hour after class, I always like that concept, and it happened to me all the time when I gave classes at college, at the university, and I had the last block on the afternoon, or especially the last block of the afternoon, because the last block at night you have to go home because it was night and the university was being closed. But the last block of the afternoon was nice because I could remain talking with any student that wanted to hear for as long as I wanted. And those conversations usually lasted maybe 20, 30 minutes more beyond the class. And yes, half of the students just left, and that's okay. But half of the students remain here, just like you. And I'm not saying I'm not seeing you as students. I'm seeing you as bodies. Okay, my bodies, my partners, my friends. That's something that I feel like that, and I feel really compelled and in the responsibility to share all this with you because there's so much needed. And so many people that think that there's something wrong with them, and they do not go to therapy, and they do not act, and they don't tell anyone, and they try to find solace just tuning into a gossip channel that like mine, that starts like gossip, but in the end I know that I can get those messages to you and really help you with this message. I really love this process. You might have noticed that today I made a short video, a joke about Megan and her pound sterling that she earned. I did a summary of the live of the New Year photo of the Cambridge, and I wanted to do this live too. Did 3 things in a single day because I had so many days with so many content and so many content coming that I'm really excited to start this year sharing with you this moments. And that's why I find it so hard so many times of stopping, because really okay. Is there a troll in there? Please tell me. I really want to share this with you. I have a lot of haters. I think they don't get the point of. I try to tell them the point of my channel, but they are so literal. They think that I'm here just, I don't know, and I'm paid by Kensington Palace. I got my check from Kensington Palace here just to bash Harry and Meghan. Yes, they pay me in cryptocurrencies so no one can find out. Yeah, whatever you say. But no, it's not like that. I really try that I enjoy just staying a bit after class talking about these topics, because I think we can find a lesson and a tip in everything that we stumble upon, even if something as trivial as someone that doesn't know what to do with their huge home, with their 16 bathroom home. That's something very trivial. There's so many people going through so many things in these days, and this really sounds like something that we should not worry about, but it's always a chain to something that we can learn about. And that is something that you should be aware to. Life gives us every day the opportunity, gives us signals, signs, clues that we can follow. And we got enough clues of that. I had this comment. I have the 2 comment streams here. I sometimes see a comment in one of them, but I don't see the comment in the other side. Let me see. I saw a comment here, but all right. I wanted to highlight a comment here, but I just missed that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out some things here in these lives, but I think it's important. And of course, I'm also gaining in these lives, trying to speak my mind. I feel like my ideas are flowing better and better with every life that I give. I'm really thankful that you are patient, that you have the patience to stand through my looking for those words, trying to organize my ideas, trying to be fluent in English. I think today I did a lot better than other times, and I'm really thankful for you being so patient with all my pauses and my stutters and everything. But it's great how when we spend so much time, and how do we enjoy this process and get to know both the royal family, the non-royals, and ourselves. That is most important. So I think we can say that's enough for today, enough information. You have more than enough today to get yourself up and running. I really sincerely hope every single one of us is going through something at any level, at any point of our lives. And that's the essence of life. That's a struggle, those challenges that we're facing at every point we want to get through. But remember that life is that oscillating, is always oscillating. There's always the lower part, a lower section does not last forever, and the upper section does not last forever. But the oscillation line is upwards. Given that you do things right, you help people, you do not harm others, and you try to play by the rules, and most important, by your values. I should talk about values someday. It's really important. I talk about values a lot. I always remember about values at the end of my lives. I should talk about them at the start. Maybe I'll do a live about values and how do they are they different from principles. People tend to mix them up. Values and principles are not the same. Principles are should be equal for everyone. For example, being responsible or being honest. Being honest is a principle that should be the same for everyone. But values is a bit different because it can change from person to person, and that's okay. You should live by your own values, the values that you realize that define your character and your personality. But if you want to support my channel in any way, the easiest way is subscribing and hitting the bell. Of course, liking this video also helps. Commenting in the video once it is published. You can also share it. You can share my channel. Hey, you should listen to the Body Language Guy. I think if you're going through a rough patch, you should listen to the Body Language Guy. One of his lives, one of his videos, I got videos dedicated to narcissism, how to spot narcissists and how to get rid of them. And the other way is, of course, becoming a member of my channel. You become a member just clicking the join button that you can find right next to the subscribe button. It's just becoming a member to support my channel with a monthly donation. And if you can go take it a bit further, in the description of this video, I think it's not set up yet, but in the description of this video, you will be able to see in a few minutes a link to let me see if I can add it here right now. You can add you can see the PayPal button to make a donation of whatever you want. Okay, people, I'm going to try to do it right now. I'm going to try to go to, let me see if I can get out of here. Okay, because I think it wasn't not configured, but let's do something. I'm going to finish the live. I'm going to configure. I absolutely forgot to configure that link when I set up the live. But I want to thank you again for staying with me with 1 hour and a half, more than 1,300 people. This is amazing. Thank you. And really thankful for your preference, for staying here, for sharing your thoughts, for commenting, for hanging out, and everything that makes this an audience, and so warm and great audience of Body Language Buddies. I will be eternally grateful for that, for every minute that you spend with me, with my words and my ideas. I only hope that you apply whatever ring a bell in this video. Just apply it, put it to test, act upon it. That is the greatest thing that you can do, and if it works for you, I will be really glad and really rewarded with that. Okay, my Body Language Buddies, as I say all the time, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy, and until we meet again in another live, another video, another short, who knows, but take care and have a good night. Bye. Don't try to, that bye sound awful. No, I don't know. Have a good night. Get some rest. Remember to sleep your 8 hours. We'll meet again tomorrow. Take care.